How about now? Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Well, I got to turn my mute button off. Sorry about that, folks. I guess I'm a little bit rusty. We've been a week or so since we've done one, but we're back in the saddle. You got to have a little grace and forgive us a little bit. But like I said, it's Mr. Cast Iron, and welcome to Weekends with Mr. Cast Iron. Got my sidekick here, and Mrs. Cast Iron with us, trying to keep us in line here. So it looks like we got Mr. Kyler uh, Estes from Kansas with us. Got little Eric down in Trinidad and Tobago Island of Trinidad. So good to have little Eric with us. Dutchy's over there in England. Good to have Dutchy with us. So Steve, my buddy there. Pickles has popped in. Charlie out in Colorado. What else we got here? Looks like Craig from Behind the Garage Barbecue over in Rhode Island. So good to have all you guys here with us. We're supposed to have Mr. Gary with GTS Barbecue shortly, but he sent me a message here. He's having a little bit of trouble. He's saying he can't get it to work, so I don't know what's going on here. I'm going to try to let's see if I can send him a link from here. Let me click on this. Hold on here, folks. Y'all bear with me just a minute. That's the great thing about technology and all this good stuff here. So bear with us here. We're trying to get Gary on, and hopefully he can get it figured out. There we got Cooking with Stephen and Jacqueline, our moderator, with us. Good to have you, buddy. Cooking with this guy. Evening all, he says. So good to have you with us, and we're going to try to get this worked out. Hopefully we can get Gary in here before too long. So as long as everybody can hear me and everything. So how's everybody doing, man? I tell you what, I'm going to tell you right off the bat, Teresa and I have been really busy lately. We went to there's Daddy Dutch, Kent. We went up in Kent's country the other day up in Pella, Iowa, and seen my son get married, and went through a tour there. I'm not going to talk much about that because I'm probably going to make a video about it. But anyway, we had a blast up there, and if Kent wasn't so far away, I would have tried to see if we couldn't have got together a little bit, but we were down in Pella, and he's up north of Des Moines, I do believe. So, but anyway, maybe one of these days we can all get together and meet one another. We also went this past weekend down to Dallas to my brother's wedding, and seen him and his new lovely bride get a tie the knot. So Teresa and I have been burning the highway up and trying to get caught up on these weddings and stuff. So we're trying to get settled back in here in the seat and try to get to know a little one. I'm going to see if I can see if Gary was able to click on that and get in there. Not yet, so he's still working on it. So we're trying to get it lined out. So how's everybody been doing, man? I'll tell you what, I caught a little head cold a couple nights ago. My throat's scratchy and my head aches, and as the saying goes, I can't help about the shape I'm in. I can't sing. I ain't pretty and my legs are thin. You know what I'm talking about, don't you, Charlie?
Is that a song?
Yeah, that's a song about pickles. It might be about me, maybe. I don't know. But anyway, Daddy does says M&T, welcome to God's country. Yeah, we had a good time up there. We really did. It was enjoyable. It was fast. I mean, we didn't have a lot of time and everything. I wish we'd have had a little more time to do some things. I actually looked up to see where you were located. I had you on my mind, but anyway, maybe one of these days we can. Looks like my buddy Billy down in Louisiana. We wasn't far from him. Well, where did he go? I've missed him. There he is. He's bouncing up the, huh? He was Shreveport. We was over in Dallas and tried to get in touch with Papa Texas. Couldn't ever get in touch with him. Was going to try to have breakfast with him, and I never got a reply back from him. I had sent out to Coleman. He's up in North Texas there in Bonham area, I think, somewhere. Anyway, he wasn't going to be in till the next night, so we had to go. We couldn't wait around. And so it just turned out to be two weddings, and we had a good time, but we didn't get to meet any of our YouTube friends. We was hoping we could. And hey, how about this Cabela's hat, man? I got me a Cabela's hat. We went to Cabela's. I guess that was Saturday morning. Yeah. Jamie Max popped in from Scotland. Good to have Jamie Mack. But anyway, we went to Cabela's and looked around. I wished I had a little more time to look around and a lot more money. You know what I'm talking about? But anyway, it is what it is. We got a hat out of the deal anyway, and I got, of course, naturally had to get me some cast iron stuff. I've got some things I'll be hopefully displaying before long. It's not really cast iron, but it's cast iron cooking related, so maybe we'll get to that. I don't know where Gary's at, man. He's having trouble getting in. I don't know. Said he can't get it to work. I don't know. There he is. I hear him popping in now. Hey, what's going on, Gary?
Well, not a lot. I've never used my iPad before for this, and apparently the security wouldn't let me do it. So,
well, I just want to warn you now, we're live, so
that's okay.
We are live. We got a whole slew of folks in the house here.
Well, that's awesome.
If you can look up in your top right-hand corner, Gary, there'll be, it should say comments.
Okay.
Can you see that?
No. It just says I'm in the show.
Okay. It doesn't say comments anywhere on the
Nope.
Far right-hand corner.
You're in the show. Everyone can see and hear you. But I don't have anything that says comments. Do you want me to?
No, I was just going to say, if you could click on the comments, you could see what everybody's saying bad about you in here.
Oh, it's probably best if I don't.
Yeah, well, we got Mrs. Sidekick here, my sidekick, Mrs. Cast Iron here. This is Gary, GTS Barbecue.
Oh.
And
says,
nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
And Dutchie says
comments.
if you use an iPad, you do not get comments. So I learned something new there.
Oh,
They're all good comments.
I just kind of propped my phone up against my iPad. So there you go. How y'all doing back there? And where are you?
Arkansas.
Awesome.
Yeah.
I hear they have some good barbecue back there in Arkansas.
You're going to give me some water.
Oh, I'll get you something.
Well, I'm battling a head cold, so we're going to try to wrestle our way through this, Gary.
Okay. Yeah, no worries.
But anyway, Stephen and Jacqueline's got our information in here, so boy, I hope I can make this.
Well, if you get to feeling poorly, why, we can do it another time. Don't hear too many people having colds these days with all the security measures and hand washing going on.
Problems or something. You just kind of run down.
But, there you go. Now I can hear you. Hello?
Good.
There you are.
You got him all choked up.
Uh-oh. Yeah, well, I hear that a lot.
We got a lot of people on here watching. And,
well, maybe some Tennessee whiskey might help.
I know.
Hey.
That's what I think he needs. Yes. We may have some of that.
Swash
Honey
some of
and
that
lemon,
down.
we're getting lots of suggestions here.
Wow.
Tell Gary,
folks.
Daddy Dutch Barbecue says, tell Gary that I love his shirt.
Kent, love you too, man. Good old Kent. I still got, I still have some of that sweet heat rub you sent me, gosh, years ago. And I still use that every once in a while. And I love it. So thank you for that.
Boy, I do apologize for this, Gary. Woo.
Oh, that's okay. I was on with Kent and CJ, I don't know, must have been a couple of years ago now when they used to do the Thursday night hot seat show.
Yeah.
And they took it over from Hobo, and now it's Lep, and I'm not sure who.
I don't know. Rob, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. Well, maybe I can
You getting settled?
wrestle my way through this, but
Well, don't worry about it. If you need to call it, we can call it.
we'll keep pressing on, man. We just gotta man up here. But anyway, You just got me choked up, man. I was not expecting you to get on there when you sent me that one message. I thought, well, we may have to.
Well, I don't know. I'm typically pretty savvy with this stuff, but like I say, I had my iPad set up and I'd never used it for StreamYard before. It's always been my phone. So I just said hell with it and logged in with my phone, and it's working just fine. I think, prettier.
Well, you do. You know, I think that iPad does. It does make you look even skinnier a little bit. Yeah,
a little bit. Yeah.
Well, you know, I hate to be the one to tell you, but
yeah, I need to set it up higher so I'm looking
if you
up.
do it up high, it does help with that.
Right. I got more chins than the Chinese phone book.
There you go. Stephen and Jacqueline. Stephen said to tell you hello. No, you can't see the comments, so.
Hey, Stephen.
Everybody in the chat room, we're struggling through tonight's show.
My brother from Trinidad and Tobago.
Mm-hmm.
Mark.
Yeah.
Mark's with us from Rhode Island. Or Maine. I'm sorry. Somebody's doing a collab, Halloween collab with you. We're doing a Dutchy Steve with Dutchy Cooking.
Oh, yeah. We've done that every year. You know, I forgot about that. Is Steve on?
Yeah, Steve's on here. So tell us a little bit about that, Gary.
I'm going to have to come up with something. Yeah, every year. I guess it's, I don't know, 2 or 3 years in a row or 4. We've done something. And, man, he comes up with some really good stuff. And I think it was last year I did feet loaf. So I made these feet out of ground beef, and I kind of put onions in them to look like bones coming out, and barbecue sauce for blood. And I'll tell you, it may sound funny, but it was delicious.
Well, I'm gonna tell you what, you really impressed my wife. She was telling me, I didn't watch that particular video. I watched several of yours, but she watched that and she said, man, you can do just about anything you want to do on here, you know.
Yep. No, I love Halloween, and so's my wife. In fact, we've been kind of decorating today a little bit, but I'll have to get a hold of Steve and do some. I got to come up with something because he does. Man, the people that collaborate with him always have some great entries. So I'm sure they'd enjoy it if anybody else would pitch in and want to do that too. So I've been kind of slacking. You know, the last year here. I'm a general manager for a group of radio stations, and here back in January, we got notice we were going to sell 3 of them, and it's just been, you know, I ain't whining, but dadgummit, you know, you try to shoot a video and edit a video, as you know, and then watch everybody's video, and I've been working a lot, and then I started getting into catering a little bit, and gosh, you know, I had 2 or 3. 100 people cooks that I had to do. Anyway, it's really hard to balance keeping a YouTube channel going and your life. Yeah. And man,
I understand.
But the sale's gone through now, so I expect to have some more time coming forward, and I really enjoy it. I don't play golf. I don't go out much. I like to do my barbecue stuff in the backyard and experiment with different cookers and. I think the thing I enjoy the most is the camaraderie and the relationships that you develop over the years. Holy moly.
That's right.
I mean, I remember when Piff, Phil and Florence passed, and that hit me harder than honestly some of my own relatives. It's crazy how attached you get to people, and then they're just, everybody's so willing to help out. And, what's your rub for this? And how do you do that? And wow, it's a really cool community that we have.
It is, no doubt. Matter of fact, let me welcome some people now that I kind of got this under my throat here. Lord willing, it'll be gone and we can wrestle our way through the show. But anyway, good to have everybody. Grumpy Old Gringo. Looks like we got Samantha Lewis.
G-O-G.
G-O-G. Yeah. I thought it was.
Got Pickles Barbecue. Daddy
Charlie.
Dutch Barbecue.
Charlie
Strong
Kent.
Adventures.
God, all the Holy
Jamie
moly.
Max up there. Some more.
Good to hear from you guys.
Yeah.
Sorry I've been off the
Got
grid for a
several
while.
on here. Of course, Stephen and Jacqueline.
Yep.
Okay. Daddy Dutch Barbecue says, I picked up a 1974 through 78 Red Weber kettle for $0 yesterday.
Whoa. Nice. You know, I found one in about that time frame here. I don't know. It must have been a couple of years ago. And some guy in Hawaii bought that thing from me for stupid money. It was pretty dinged up. It had chips on it, and you know, Lewis is the master. Lewis over at Our Shack Barbecue.
Yeah.
Goodness, he's always scoring those things. We often are on. We live close to each other, so we're on the same Craigslist. Sometimes we do a little battle on things, but I guess I don't have as much time as he does for for Craigslist. But
Yeah.
that's good, Kent. Congratulations, buddy. I you know, I think Lewis must have, and I'm not kidding, 80, 90 grills at his
Wow.
place. And, you know, it's a hobby for him to get them and refurbish them and then resell them. And so he also does custom metalwork. So he does like the little vent lids for probes. He makes those. He made me some tuning plates for my offset smoker. He does a lot with some of that, and he can find anything you need. So get a hold of Lewis if you're ever looking for an accessory or a part or some kind of a widget you need made. He's pretty good at that stuff.
Well, Pickles got a question for you. Says, is there anything that you cook that's regional to Washington?
Well, you know, as I said, I've been doing quite a bit of catering, and I made the mistake of putting apple cobbler on my menu. And I had a cook. So we're kind of known as the apple capital of the world here in this little town I'm in, Wenatchee. But, you know, I'll tell you, sitting there peeling, well, it was 40 apples. And it don't sound like much, but you got to peel them, you got to core them, you got to seed them, and you got to get them in the bowl before they turn brown. And so, yes, I do some apple cobbler, and I guess that would – I don't know that we would have any regional proteins here. It's pretty traditional: brisket, pulled pork, pulled chicken, thighs, wings, you know, the normal fare that you'd see everywhere else. But we do apples well here. Lots. I think there's like 130 varieties of apples here.
Yeah.
So Charlie, I'll have to send you some.
Well, you know, you mentioned something earlier that I've been curious about. Can you tell us a little bit about the radio deal?
Well, you know, it's a radio station, and I actually have a show every week. KOHO, Coho, 101.1 every Thursday morning at 9:30. I do a little barbecue show, and that's kind of fun. And, you know, terrestrial radio really still has a place in America. You know, the kind of information we provide is local, it's school lunches, it's menus, it's fire coverage, it's the kind of information, you know, really that we're part of the fabric of the community. So it's you know, it's not really like everybody listens to satellite. And you know, for music, honestly, you know, oftentimes I'll do that too. But daytime radio is still legit, still valuable. And, you know, we have a ton of listeners, and it's kind of fun. Yeah, you get to know the DJs and how they do all that stuff. And you walk down the hall and walk in on them, give them crap every once in a while. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. You talked about cooking for some other people. Are you doing like charity work or something? And
you know, I do that too. When COVID hit, and then last March and April, you know, the law enforcement community really kind of started to get, in my opinion, a bad rap. And so I did a pretty big charity cook for the local county sheriff. And it was kind of fun because he got on the radio, and the next thing I know, there were state troopers driving by, there was local PD coming by, there was people from another county coming over. And it was just cool to see them kind of interact with each other. speaking of communities and brotherhoods, and kind of just having some sandwiches, and I think they really appreciated that. I've done some firehouses here locally, and I would recommend anybody. I don't care if you just have a small cooker. I'll tell you what, those I didn't really realize, but most of those firehouses, there's only 4 or 5 people there at a time.
Yeah.
So cook them up a batch of this or that if you want to, or take them down to the police department. I did a cook for a retirement facility here that's literally across the street. So
wow.
there's lots of ways you can just say thanks.
Yeah, really.
Crap, it's these guys are and women, men and women are it's insane what they have to go through and what they do.
Yeah.
So yeah, I do a lot of charity cooks, and I don't have any guilt in saying. And from that, I got a few leads, and there's some people wanting to me, well, can you do this or that? And I got a group here and there, and you just kind of yeah, just like a mechanic. Oh yeah, I can do that. I can fix that.
Yeah.
So what you got 150? Yeah, I can do it. Yeah, no worries. But it's a ton of work, and I got it. My respect goes out, obviously, for the first responders and all that. But those catering people, holy moly, I really underestimated how much actual work it is.
Yeah.
To put together a full menu and a full meal and get it delivered, make it hot, and time it so it's all done at the same time. And I want a brisket, but I want it served at 11:30. Yeah, good luck with that. And that's an overnighter. So the answer, I guess, to circle back is I really do a lot of charity cooks. I just like doing it. It's easy, and I'm cooking anyway. And frankly, I experiment too much. One of my biggest, I think, weaknesses in my game is I want to try this. I want to do it that way. I don't know how many dozen racks of ribs I've done, but I can guarantee you there probably ain't 3 that have been done the same way.
Yeah.
So I just I experiment on my firehouse down the street. They like it. So
yeah, that's cool. Folks, our guest tonight is Mr. Gary Taylor with GT's Barbecue and Cuisine. If you've not yet been over to his channel, be sure and check out his channel. Go watch some of his videos and leave him a thumbs up. Tell him you've seen him on Mr. Cast Iron's channel. And if you're not yet subscribed to his channel, I know he'd certainly appreciate that. And
you bet.
Likewise, if you're not giving us a thumbs up on this video, we'd ask that you do so. It helps us all. So we appreciate that. And but with that said, Gary, let's talk a little bit about YouTube now.
Yeah.
How long you been on YouTube?
Gosh, I guess it's going on about 3 years now. And I don't know. I honestly, I bought a used Weber Smoky Mountain from Lewis at Our Shack Barbecue, and he was on Craigslist. I bought that thing, and of course, he took advantage of me like he always does. Yeah. And we got to talking. He goes, "Yeah, I think we were talking about Harry Sue. I think I asked him, you ever heard of that?" And he goes, "Well, I got a YouTube channel," and I said, "No way." And so I got to looking into that, and I'm sitting there thinking, well, I cook every weekend or more than once a week anyway. Why couldn't I just point a camera at it? And so I kind of got started. And, I think there's a lot of ego in it. I know there is in my case. It got to be where, heck, people actually started to follow my channel, and you start to get comments and ask you questions. And I don't know, it was a kind of hobby that really kind of seemed like it gave me back some gratitude, and it helped me grow my game, and it helped me want to do better. And so I just kind of got going with it. And man, when I look back on some of my old videos, it's horrible. I had an old iPad 1, no mic, just but so what? I think that, I know Lee over always says, did you have fun with it?
Yeah.
And did you enjoy it? So, I just, it's fun, and you practice, and it really does make you better. Once you start getting stuff out there and you realize, I never really realized people take you seriously. I mean, they're expecting you to know what the hell you're doing. And in many cases I did. I did way too many things for the first time on film. And a couple of them honestly went right in the garbage. But so it's just been a lot of fun, and it's a way to interact with other people that have the same interests that you do. And the first couple of times that you actually give them an idea, man, it's a thrill.
Yeah. Steve over at Dutchy Cooking says, just a guess, but Gary's radio work helps him be confident on his YouTube channel. You think your radio work has helped your channel?
I've never really had an issue with that. I don't know. I'm not really on the air much. I just do a little short, like 10-minute show every week. But that's hard to say, Steve. I do remember sweating bullets and having to do 100 takes the first couple of times I tried to do YouTube. And, I think it's, you just have a little aiming fluid, a little cooking fluid, and just take a breath and just, you know what? No one dies doing this. Just chill. Just do what you do. Be yourself. And once I kind of got past that part, if anything, it was the reverse. I think being on YouTube helped me be on the radio because I remember I did my first show, and I was surprised how nervous I was. I had notes. I had all these notes. And I kept looking at my notes, and the DJ said, "Dude, you already know how to cook, right?" Yeah. And I said, "Yeah." And he goes, "Well, just answer my questions. What do you need notes for?" So I think it was the reverse. I think YouTube helped me in that way. I've never really cared to public speak. I've always been pretty shy, and it's kind of made me come out of my shell. And heck, I wish I was single again. I'd probably be hell at the bars now. Just kidding, honey.
Now we'll edit that out. Don't want to hear that, right?
No.
Craig over at Behind the Garage says 10 minutes. That's more airtime than Charlie puts in. Can you believe that?
I'll tell you what, Craig's legit. I followed him for years, and he's a saucier. One of the things I've noticed about him is some of them sauces he makes. Yeah, I made this. I don't remember pineapple chicken or some such, and it's a little bit complicated for my willingness to take the time to do it. But damn, I'll tell you what, if you're not following that guy, write that stuff down because it's legit. It really, and in my catering world, I've used some of these recipes from some of these people that know what the hell they're doing. And it's pretty cool to have access to that kind of skill set.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I mean, I've been trying to pump Craig's head up for a long time because he's a real deal, man. And I'm telling you,
he is.
We're going to watch him just blossom out. I mean,
I can't
that
believe
rotisserie he does. That is his ticket. That's his meal ticket. And I've been telling him, and because no one else is doing that, he's got an inside on it, and he's good at it, and he does great video work. And I mean, he's just, he does. He's fixing to just blow up out of all this, for long. I can see it coming.
I know. And, I've kind of been watching him for a long time, and I've been kind of surprised. But I'll tell you, I had 2 or 3 videos that just blew up that really helped to my channel, and all of them were reviews. So I have a Rectech pellet grill. Yeah. And I did a deal. It's a 4-year review and how it works. And that thing's up to like 60,000 views now. And I did one when I got my Blackstone. I had a Camp Chef portable griddle that I bought. And all I did is unbox it. I just took it out of the box and folded it out and set it up. Dang, that thing was like 30,000 views. Most of my videos get about 100. A good one will get 150 views. They don't get many views. Yeah. But those things, boy, you pop in a few of those. So if I had any advice for anybody, I don't care what you buy. If it's a knife, if it's a new probe, there's a million people out there looking for reviews on things. and they just watch it. I got a meat grinder, like $80 meat grinder, and I set that thing up and pointed the camera at it. And Lewis does a lot of this too. But I've gotten, honestly, my whole channel is supported by those 5 or 6 videos where I've got, 200,000-300,000 views combined. And the rest of it is just some drunk in a t-shirt cooking barbecue in the backyard.
Yeah, Craig could, I certainly don't want to tell him what to do, but yeah, you're right. Those how-tos when you do demonstrations, even on my channel, some of the silly things I do, but just kind of demonstrating a little something, people search for that, if he can demonstrate how to use that El Charro or whatever. I mean, he's certainly showing how to cook stuff on it, but I mean, if he could just kind of get a rundown on the mechanics of it. And
how many people need to restore cast iron? I mean, you've got this and you haven't used it, or you bought it at a garage sale, and but that El Charro thing, anyway, those have been my channel wouldn't be where it is, which it's very small considering how long I've been doing it. But
Pickle's got another question for you. He wants to know. He's always full of it.
I know.
I don't know what he's full of.
Don't time him out. CJ timed that.
CJ
timed him out about every 10 minutes. Or that was Kent.
Some of your cooking disasters and what you learned from them. Tell us a little bit about some of your cooking disasters.
Okay, so over seasoning. I used to think, man, you need to, you watch some of these videos and these guys take these shakers and you can't see no food. I kind of think of it as like, when I was young, I went to a church where some of the older women wore way too much perfume. I mean, man, your eyes, I think the smoke alarm would go off if they had them in them days.
Yeah.
But you just, less is more. You just, anyway, learning to let the meat come through. Don't do videos of first time you try something. I don't know how many times I'll do that. And then you go to take a bite of it and you got to pretend it's good. And yes, I'm sorry. I've done that, but, so seasoning, I think, is probably the biggest. And then the rest is just, learn from your trials and write things down. There's a big one.
Yeah.
I don't know how many times I fly through something and I can't remember, well, I did this, or I had some of Kent's, sweet heat, and you put this and that, and you really like it, but you can't remember what in the hell you did.
Yeah.
So I do have a journal now, and I try to keep track of things, and I've got my menu pretty well set up, and keep it simple. Stick to things that for catering for sure. I have a real basic recipe menu, I should say. And, but yeah, that was the biggest over seasoning is probably the biggest thing I learned. Stay away, whatever you want to use, that's fine. But
talking about seasoning, I guess I ought to mention this. We want to thank Uncle Steve for sponsoring our channel. We got Tom's from Tom's Food Factory with us. Good to have Tom. Mr. Fred Zeppelin's popped in the house too.
What?
He said tell Gary hello and rock on. So
Mega Fred, rock on, brother.
Anyway, we'll do a drawing here in a little while. I'm gonna be giving away a competition package. It's gonna be the 3-package competition. I don't know what I did with it. I may not have even pulled it up here, Trace. I don't even think I pulled that up here, but anyway, it's Uncle Steve's competition package.
That's funny. Uncle Steve sponsors my radio show.
Oh, he does.
So every week I give away a bottle of rub. And so I had a local retailer that is an advertiser of ours. And I asked them if they would mind carrying him. So they picked him up as a retailer. And then I just give them a certificate. So every week, they have to text the word rub to our text line. And then they take it into their store and buy it. So I use a lot of Uncle Steve's products. He does good. It's legit, man.
Yeah, I do too. I like it. Sure
I used to
do.
think I could save
Except-
money making my own rubs, and I guess you can, but I just can't. They don't taste the same. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he's such a good dude too, man. I mean,
Yeah,
he's
he
so
is.
willing to help out, in this community and everything. So
Yeah, he when he found out I was doing some of them charity cooks, boy, he sent me a whole bunch of rubs, for that, and that was obviously a big help because I'm paying for it. So
yeah. Anyway, here's the package we're going to give away tonight. It's a competition package. Competition pig shake, competition cow shake, and competition bird shake. Man, I tell you what, I like all of them, but that bird shake, I really like that. That's some good
I
stuff.
haven't tried that one. I think Kent, if I'm not mistaken, Kent helped develop that pig shake. But
the pig shake you did, yeah, I think so.
I've not tried the bird. I just placed a buy for some of that pigs. I just bought 4 big bottles of that pig shake here last week, and I need to get some of that bird. So you use it on all poultry then, or?
Well, yeah, you can use it on chicken or turkey, or I'm sure you could use it on pigeon or whatever. Like Charlie likes to cook.
Charlie likes to cook.
He's looking for geofowl. He said earlier or something. So I don't know. Geo duck. So he might have used that bird powder on that. Who knows? But
yeah, I think that's called gooey duck. I'm not sure.
Yeah, something like that. But anyway, you got to keep both eyes on Charlie. You know that, right?
Yeah. Well, them IT guys, he just sits at home and fixes computers. So.
Which one is it?
No, nothing.
Oh, okay.
They're acting up a lot.
Yeah, they're acting up in the chat room here. Dutchy says he was lucky to win some Uncle Steve shape here in the UK. So good deal, Steve. That's good.
Nice.
Billy over at Strong's Adventure says he's going to have to say that Gator Shake is the best. Teresa tends to agree. I mean, I love that Gator Shake too, but
I like it too. I especially like it on fish. It's got that lemony. So I got it. Yeah.
Yeah. Mr. Fred Zeppelin says, what was the first thing you remember barbecuing?
Chicken.
Yep.
Yeah. First thing I can remember, I grew up, my old man, one of the only ways he could get the family together was to light up he had an old Weber kettle. And man, he used to brag about how cool it was and how the air came in the bottom and you could adjust the temperatures. And boy, I can remember standing there and I don't really remember the food that much, but I just remember that was one of the few times my brothers would come and bring their girlfriends and whatnot. And we'd all kind of get together and then scatter afterwards. But still to this day, I think that's one of the things about barbecue in America, that it kind of brings people together and families. And if you can get the kids to help you in the kitchen a little bit, why, man, I can't think of really anything. And it can be healthy. It doesn't have to be this, don't look at me. It ain't because of barbecue that I'm the way I am.
Me either, but anyway. So what would you say, who was the biggest influence on you as far as starting to cook? Would it be your mother or grandmother, or your dad, or?
Yeah, I guess it'd be my mom. Speaking of cast iron, everything was done in cast iron, rolled in flour. I don't care what it was. I lived on a farm, and we ate squirrels, we ate rabbits, we ate pheasant. There wasn't any protein that my mom didn't put in flour and fry in a cast iron skillet. So I guess it'd be her. But as far as influence into barbecue, it'd be my old man, just, exposing me to the experience that it creates with people. And, he just loved it. I could just see him out there. He was so proud, and he'd have his spatulas in his hand. And, I don't know. It did. So my mom, I guess I've seen cook, but the old man was the barbecue influence. And I did it ever since I got out on my own. I've been, good Lord, 40 years, I suppose, or at least I've been barbecuing something or other.
Yeah. simply Wendy's popped in. So good to have Wendy with us, and all the other ones that I haven't recognized. We certainly are not trying to overlook you. We're kind of struggling through tonight's show. I've got a head cold, and as I said earlier, can't help about the shape I'm in. I can't say. And my legs are thin, right?
Yeah.
But anyway.
Well, you're making it through.
Well, we're working on it. Tonight's guest is Mr. Gary Taylor with GT's Barbecue and Cuisine. So appreciate Gary being with us tonight, being so gracious. We've been talking for a month and a half or better, trying to coordinate a time and everything. So I certainly appreciate you doing this with us.
Well,
and
I appreciate you asking me. I think this is about the third or fourth one of these kind of things I've done. And, you know, I always have fun with them, and I always enjoy watching them myself too.
Yeah.
So,
you know, you get to know, you were talking earlier about the community and everything, and that's really what it's all about. And that's what we enjoy about this. Teresa and I are back and forth from time to time about different things, and we talk about our channel and talk about, you know, the direction that we're looking at going and everything. And, you know, getting to know the cooks has been the biggest blessing to us. I mean, every person is different naturally, but you know, we see their videos, we see them cook the recipes, and recipes are, you know, they're everybody does recipes, but they do it in their own way. But to get to know the person and you know, where they're from, what they've been through in life, and their perspective on things is really what blesses us more than anything, I think. And that's kind of what keeps us going. You know,
that's well said. That's well said. It's a family, really. When you become a family.
Yeah.
I got family members. I'd just soon not. Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't going to go there, but I was thinking it. Yeah. So, but yeah, we do too. I mean, we stay in touch, and you know, we got several people that text us from time to time, or call even, or you know, shoot us an email or a message on Instagram or something, and we all kind of stay in contact, you know. And and it's really, you do develop a good, you know, a friendship and a fellowship, and sure, it's hard to beat. But you know, talking about your channel, how do you what do you use to record your videos with?
Well, I used my phone up until I borrowed a camera from work that I'm trying to figure out how to use. It's a I don't know, it's a Nikon 78YX Z9342 G9 classified some or other, and I can't seem to ever get it to focus right. And it's a much higher quality camera.
Does that come with the turbo, or is that?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
And you got to make sure you check the fluid in the headlights though, because
it'll make your wipers go haywire, won't it?
Yeah. You know, I don't know. I the only reason I switched away from my phone is I had a Bluetooth mic and it kept cutting out on me. And heck, there was at least 2 or 3 in a row where halfway through it, the video or the audio was gone, or it was garbled. And so I was just looking for a way to get around. I started looking at cameras, and I didn't have that kind of money. So the answer is I'd use an iPhone is what I would say. I don't see why you need anything more than that.
Yeah.
It's not a feature film, and as long as you can hear it, and that at least mine seems to zoom in just right, and it auto focuses all that deal. And so I mostly use my phone as the answer, but I have been experimenting. My last few videos have been, and I did get some comments immediately that said, wow, your video looks a lot better. But I don't trust it. You know, when I'm trying to do a cook, I want to fly through that sumbitch. I want to set my tripod up. I want to get it record, go and do it. I don't want to be autofocus this or just the light on that or anything else. I just don't have time. So one of these days, maybe I'll look into something that's more user friendly in terms of a better one. But you know why? You got to ask yourself why. I'd rather spend that money on a PK 300 grill that I've had my eye on.
Yeah. Pickles wants to know if you could travel anywhere to eat, where would you go?
Anywhere. I assume you mean in the country. I think I'd like to go to Franklin's Barbecue and try that down in Austin.
Yeah.
Everybody says it's the best. I even seen a deal from Chef Gordon Ramsay, who said it's the best barbecue he's ever eaten. And he does not give out that kind of compliment very often. So yeah, I'd kind of like to go down there, I suppose, and I'd like to go to Texas. And really, if I ever get to retire, I'd kind of like to drive around and go see some of my friends, my YouTube friends, and pop in and say hey, and just, it ain't so much about, it's kind of like Harley Davidson. It's not the destination, it's the journey.
That's true.
So, but I guess if I had to answer that right off the top of my head, I'd say I would like to go down to Aaron Franklin's barbecue down there in Austin and give that a try. So go ahead, Charlie, and send me a ticket, and and I'll do a crawl for you.
Uncle Steve's popped in the house, so good to have Uncle Steve with us. So
hey, Steve, we were just talking about you.
Yeah, thanks for promoting this and sponsoring our show here. We're struggling tonight, Steve. I got a head cold, but we're pressing on, man. We got Gary from GT's Barbecue and Cuisine. Folks, if you guys have not yet been over to Gary's channel, be sure and go check him out. Check his videos out. Leave him a thumbs up. Leave him a comment and tell him you've seen him on Mr. Cast Iron's channel. And I know he'll certainly appreciate that. And likewise, if you're not yet subscribed to his channel, if you like what he's doing, be sure and do that. I know he'll appreciate that as well. So anyway, but now are you using any kind of external speaker, or are you just using the speaker on your iPhone, or what are you doing there? Or did I miss that?
For this?
For your videos?
Oh no, I just use my I found a Bluetooth microphone that I got for it was like $45. And you got to have an adapter widget that patches into the Chingadera Hoosengatsy.
Yeah,
but it worked great for years. It really for less than $50, that thing just worked and worked and worked. And I don't know if it was my phone that went south or that deal, but so I went ahead and ordered another one. I thought, well, I'll just get another one. It's not that much money, and it did the same thing. So I'm suspicious it may be something to do with my phone.
Yeah.
But no, I do like to have a Bluetooth or some kind of a detached microphone, just for moving around and different things. But it's as simple as could be. I didn't spend any money. It's probably hard to tell by looking at my videos, but more importantly is that you're having a good time and that you're using Uncle Steve's shake. That's the most important.
Okay, that's it. He may send you a hat for that. You never know.
Hey Steve, I was down at Stan's Murray Mart just yesterday buying some supplies, and your shelf is your product's flying. I'm noticing lots of product coming off of there. So I don't know if it's everybody winning it on my radio show or they're just liking it, but they got some pretty good shelf placement for you there. So
yeah, that's great. Cam V with flour, eggs, and yeast. Cam and Teresa's in the house with us. Good to have them.
Yeah.
Mr. Fred Zeppelin says, hey, he said, I'll tell you what, Gary, if you ever come up into Northern California, he'll treat you to an In-N-Out burger. How about that? Rock on,
that sounds good to me. And you guarantee I would too. I got a list. I keep a list. So one of the things I did when I started, I couldn't remember who was who.
Yeah.
And different people's names. So I got them all on here, and holy moly, if I ever tried to go through all these.
I need to do that, but I'd be like you. I'd be some confused. I wouldn't know if I was coming or going. So.
Yeah. But Fred, you can bet I'll be by if I do.
What's your favorite thing to cook, Gary?
Yeah. It depends on how much time I got. If for my birthday, my favorite meal to make for myself, and I always want to make it myself, is steak and lobster.
Yeah.
That's just what I've always liked. But I like cooking brisket if I got time, and if I really got time, I like to use my offset. But one of the things I've learned about that sumbitch is, man, you're committed. I didn't really understand that part. And I remember one day I was out there doing might have been my first brisket. I was out there, man, I was proud, and my neighbors are all coming over looking at it. Oh yeah, look at this, and that clean smoke, and look at this, and you got to do this. And holy moly, 6 hours turned into 7 hours, turned into 9 hours. And, I finally, I couldn't drink anymore.
Yeah.
I had to call it a day. So, you say what you want about pellet grills, but I did a cater here not long ago where I did a whole bunch of pork butts and a brisket. And so about, I don't know, must have been about 9:30 at night, I went ahead and put them on my pellet grill at 200 degrees and just let them run overnight.
Yeah.
And so I did have to get up. I got up about 5, but at least I got some sleep.
Yeah.
And
I hear you.
You can't beat the flavor on that offset, but some bitch, you better have a lawn chair and some shade, because every 20 minutes, you're going to be putting on a log.
Yeah, no doubt. Hey, folks, just a reminder, with Uncle Steve in here, we're going to be doing a giveaway here shortly. So anyone that's in the chat room here, whether you're from overseas or not, we're not going to call you out just because you live overseas. Uncle Steve will provide the shakes, and Teresa and I, Mr. and Mrs. Cast Iron, will pay the shipping if one of you from from out of the United States wins this. So don't not enter the drawing just because you're not from the United States. So anyway, we'll do that here in about 3 more minutes. So if you got a question for Gary, be sure and put out Mr. Cast Iron so it'll highlight it where I can see it to be able to get the question up on the screen for Gary. But other than that, I'm just kind of curious, what is one of the hardest videos you had making that you went ahead and recorded instead of throwing it away like you were saying earlier?
Well, that's a good question. I'm not sure what you mean by hard making, but
recording maybe.
Yeah, just some of the things that have a lot of different steps, and you're going in and out, and honestly, the editing. It's not so much the shooting.
Yeah.
As the I definitely got better at knowing I was going to have to edit this, so I talked longer at a time, because like I say, I ain't whining, but you come home after work and you sit down and you get some of these little got to cut that out, and I say and a lot.
Yeah.
And and I'm not a professional. It's hard to tell, but I'm not a professional.
I wouldn't have believed it.
So I guess that's some of it. But to me, I don't know. I kind of got to where I'd enjoy it. I can't think of any one video that really stuck out as one that was hard to make as far as shooting it goes.
Tom's got a question for you. Says, what did Gary cook where in the end it was a disappointment? Did you have one that you cooked and you recorded, but in the end it was
yeah, if I'm being honest, and I hate to honestly admit this, because it was my tribute to Big Lou when his wife had passed, and I went on there, and he had made a comment. One of her favorite burgers was I believe it was a peanut. No, was it a peanut butter burger, or it was
blue cheese?
Blue cheese. That's what it was.
Yeah.
So I did that, and I followed that thing, and when I took a bite of that, I clearly did something wrong. No disrespect to Lou, but I could not almost keep a straight face. It was horrid. And I threw that thing away right away. But so that was one of them. And then the only other real case I can think of is when I way over-seasoned ribs. Ribs aren't very thick.
Yeah.
And when I was getting started, I'd see all these guys, they just lather on that Uncle Steve shake way too thick. And there was a couple times when you couldn't taste any protein at all. But that blue cheeseburger, I failed at it. It wasn't nothing to do with his recipe, but I don't think I've ever spit anything out quite as quick as that.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, if you don't mind, we're going to take a little break here and do a giveaway.
No.
Tonight is, like I said, we're going to what did I do? I didn't add it to the stream. There we go. Uncle Steve's Shake Competition. package. It's 3 bottles. It's got the pig shake, it's got the cow shake, and the bird shake. And so, if you will, in the chat room, be sure and put hashtag Gary, Gary. For our friend, Mr. Gary Taylor, just put hashtag Gary, and that will enter you into the drawing tonight. And we'll talk and ask him a couple more questions here while everybody's getting that in the chat room, and make sure that, we don't miss out on anybody. So everybody's welcome to enter the drawing. Hashtag Gary. Hashtag Gary. And so, but anyway, Gary, talking about that now, what is your favorite of everything? It doesn't matter which way you look at it. What is your overall favorite piece of cooking equipment? I mean, is it a gas grill, a charcoal grill, fire pit, cooking in the stove, air fryer? Who knows?
It depends on how much time I got. I get asked this probably more than any other question because I've got 9 cookers.
Yeah.
And everybody, what's your favorite? Well, it depends. If I really got time and I want to sit out in a lawn chair, I like that offset. I think the flavor that comes off of that thing. Yeah. But honestly, I probably use my Blackstone more than anything else because it's quick. I can go out there, fire that thing up. We can do almost anything on it. You can do proteins. I do a lot of stir fries on there. So there is no. I wouldn't sell any of my grills because I like one better than another. It just depends on how much time I got and how much I'm going to cook. If I'm going to do a steak, I really have had my eye on one of them PK 300s. Everybody in comps are using those. Yeah. And but it's really just for steaks. I don't need it. But I like to do steaks on my Weber kettle. And do it 2-zone cook, and I'm if Gordon Ramsay, here's a good question for you to ask your folks. If Gordon Ramsay was coming to your house, what would you cook? I'd cook a steak. I personally think I can pick out and cook a steak as good as any restaurant certainly that I'm at.
Yeah. Wow.
But
Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and do this drawing. If I can pull this up here, see if we can't.
Some put little G, some put big G.
Huh?
Some put little G, some put big G.
Some put little G, some put big G. I don't think it really matters.
I'm not sure what Pickles is.
But anyway, they ain't no telling what Pickles done. But anyway,
ain't no telling.
Yeah, we're gonna put hashtag Gary. So, folks, if you've not yet done so, be sure and get hashtag Gary in the chat room. Huh?
Will it match if it's?
Yeah, it don't matter if it's uppercase or lower.
Okay.
Huh? So, all right. Well, here's the countdown. We're going to do it. Y'all ready? Here we go. We're going to start collecting. We got 14 entries. So here we go. Here we go. Rock and roll. Who's the winner for tonight? Who is the winner for tonight? Oh, Grumpy old Gringo. G-O-G wins. How about that?
G-O-G.
G-O-G. Wow. Awesome. Got to write him down there. Grumpy old Gringo wins the competition package from Uncle Steve and Mr. and Mrs. Cast Iron. So
that's some good stuff. That's a good prize.
Yeah, good deal. Grumpy old Gringo, folks. So, all right, good deal. Well,
Mike, did I mention I hadn't ever tried that competition bird powder?
Oh, you need to try that.
I might have not mentioned that. I think I may have mentioned it. That bird powder? No, I don't believe I've tried that.
Huh. Yeah, Steve might be listening.
Well, there's a shame that ain't right. I don't care who you are. That ain't right there.
I gotta confess, I did the same thing one time. I kept talking and I said, man, I don't think I've tried that new all-purpose shake. And next thing I know, I look at the mail and I got a package, it's got that all-purpose in there. But,
I don't believe I've ever ordered anything that I didn't get something extra. I mean, he's really good about he takes care of his customers.
He does. He's on top of it. I just shoot him a message or whatever, and And I always tell whoever wins, be sure. And matter of fact, I need to do that now. I've got Grumpy Old Gringo's email, and I know I see Steve saying he's on it already, so he's got it. But I always tell everybody to send me an email and let me know they received the package. But I mean, Steve's on it every time. I've never had anyone say, where's my package at? Because he's right on top of it always. And we certainly appreciate Uncle Steve sponsoring us and everything. So, folks, if you've not, if you don't know what we're talking about, be sure and go over to Uncle Steve's Shake. There's 2 S's in that.com. Check out his website there and check out his shakes. We all stand behind them. We all promote it, and we are all, appreciative of him. And we wouldn't be doing that if we didn't believe in the product. So be sure and check him out.
It's a fact. It's legit. My customers, anyway, it's not the pit, it's the pit master, but the pit master has to know what the hell they're doing when it comes to seasoning. So it's a big deal.
Well, I got to confess, since Mrs. Cast Iron's here, I made something today in an Instapot because I hadn't been feeling good the past couple of days, if you can tell. And I kind of stumped my toe on the all-purpose shake of Uncle Steve's, and she was eating, and I said, "What do you think about that?" She said, "Well, it's good, but man, it's spicy." And then I put way too much in there. So anyway, I'm fessing up before I go to bed.
We talked about this earlier, man. Less is more. Just
that's why I was saying that to him.
Sprinkle it on, man. When you go to give your grandkids a hug, you don't want to choke them out with the dadgum perfume. Just a little bit.
Steve with Dutchy Cooking's got to pop out. It's 1:00 over in the United Kingdom.
Oh, gosh,
Steve, we appreciate you, man.
See
always.
You, Steve.
Take care, buddy.
Happy Halloween.
Yeah, really. See you in the funny pages, all right? But anyway, it's really great. We enjoy it, and you can stump your toe sometime. But I like it. I like anything spicy. I guess that's why I married her, huh? Did I do good then?
You're doing good, baby. Tomorrow's our anniversary.
Tomorrow's our anniversary, man.
Wow.
Tomorrow's 7-year anniversary. No, she's been putting up with me for 7 years, 8 or 9 actually. But we dated a couple years, been married 7 tomorrow. And there's a story behind that. We picked 10-4. Gary, I've been a long haul truck driver most all my life, and so I had to pick something that I could remember. So 10-4. Yeah. And then also on 2014, so 10 and 4 added to 14. So, we got a date that I couldn't ever forget. At least I hope anyway. But
and then you're 10-10 on the side, making making your food.
I used to get up in your country a little bit there in Washington, man.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I've been out through there some.
Well, I live in a little small town where, if you get a divorce here, she's still your sister.
Yeah, I know what you mean. It's kind of like that in Arkansas, They're the ones that created the toothbrush, You only have one tooth, so you only need a toothbrush.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Real bad.
That was bad. We lost Gary. That's just how it goes. First you money, then you close. So maybe he'll pop back in here in a minute. So we can get him back on. He knows how to do it now. So anyway,
you telling him or what?
I need to send him a message, I guess. Try again. But anyway, folks, hopefully we'll get Gary back here in just a minute. Y'all hang with us. You're going to have to put up with me and Mrs. Cast Iron for a minute. But no, we appreciate everybody saying happy anniversary. We appreciate that. And we've had a pretty good past couple of weeks. We've been to some weddings, one in Iowa, one in Texas. And so we've been kind of running around, traveling around a little bit. And somehow or another, I caught a head cold the other night.
There we go.
Yeah, we got him back now. So you got all excited and pushed the wrong button, didn't you?
I didn't push nothing. I'm just sitting here, and all of a sudden you were talking about divorces and sisters and wash your sister sauce. I think is one of my favorite condiments.
I use that every now and then. Steve, we was talking about Dutchy a while ago. He says he uses Worcestershire sauce because he can say it. You ever heard him that on his videos? He says that all the time. He said, I use Worcestershire sauce because I can say it.
He can say it. Yeah, I never learned it. Yeah.
Oh, I got to try to get me a drink here and wash that down a little bit. But anyway,
So let me ask you. Go ahead.
Go for it. Yes, sir.
So why Mr. Cast Iron?
All right. Well, I tell you what. Initially, I've been on YouTube probably since about 2008. I think was when I initially started fooling with YouTube, but I was just dabbling with it, playing with it, mainly consuming. And then probably 2012 wasn't it when we met? You getting me choked up, Gary?
Yeah, well, that'll happen to you. When I die, I want to go peacefully in my sleep like my grandpa did, not screaming in terror like all the people on that bus he was driving.
Ask you some questions.
Oh, there you go. I lost you there for a minute.
What piece of cooking equipment would you like to own that you don't currently have?
PK 300.
I think you may have said that earlier or something. Okay.
I did.
What is the one cooking utensil you can't do without?
Weber kettle.
Okay. Okay, what is your favorite kitchen hack?
Cutting a corner out of a Ziploc bag to squirt stuff.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. I think I already know the answer to this. Would you rather cook at home or order in?
Home.
Yeah, I
hate spending money on food. It's crazy.
What's your favorite? Breakfast, lunch, or dinner?
Ooh. Depends. If I'm hungover, it's breakfast. That's a tough one. It depends on so many things. I guess I'll say dinner.
Okay.
But in the morning times, there's been times, man, there's nothing like a nice breakfast with a Bloody Mary or a triple Bloody Mary.
Well, Pickles has a question. What drove Gary to do radio, and what is on your bucket list?
What drove me to do radio was I needed a job. And my entire I'll probably retire here in the next couple of years. I've always been in management of some kind, and one of the local radio groups needed a general manager, a sales manager, actually at the time, and it was just a good fit for me. And my bucket list is to retire and spend time with my family and grandkids, and just not have to be somewhere in the morning at a certain time. I probably work harder at my catering than I ever did at work, but it ain't about that. It's about just having my own time, do it when I want to do it. And so my bucket list is to, land my plane safely with enough money to support myself by catering.
Yeah, well, I apologize for that. I got choked up again, but
you did, yeah.
Anyway, to get back to the story, I had been on YouTube with some other things, and we ended up getting demonetized. The ad apocalypse happened, and they demonetized. They changed the threshold for different things, and I was borderline. But it was some other things going on. It was mainly MLM, multi-level marketing issues.
Oh.
And YouTube kind of frowned on some things, and they
don't like you selling stills?
Well, no, they didn't. Well, it was CBD oil. I'll just tell you plain up what it was.
Even better. Even better.
Yeah, and
you got my address, right?
We were rocking along there and doing real good, but they shot us out of about 110 videos.
Oh.
And so it really just got me discouraged. I mean, I just nearly quit. And Teresa and I just kind of stumbled along there a little bit. And then I had some health issues and ended up going to the doctor. And basically it was some issues that was kind of scary to me because I thought it might have been pancreas related. And I had a brother and a nephew, his son, both pass away within 13 months of each other from pancreatic cancer.
Oh, no.
And so it really got me paranoid there for a minute. So I went and checked it out. Anyway, it was something that we could handle by diet. And so I started on the keto venture.
Mm-hmm.
And so I started another channel. I told her, I said, well, if we're going to do this, let's make some videos about it. And I've always been into cast iron. And so everything we were cooking basically was cast iron. So what had happened was we went down that journey for a little while. And a friend of mine I was in some other ventures with years ago on the internet called me and left a message one night. And I didn't catch the call, and it went to voicemail. And he said, Mr. Cast Iron, hey, Skillet Head, what are you doing? Screening your calls now? Done got big time on YouTube, and you're screening your calls. And when he said Mr. Cast Iron, it just resonated with me. And so I started looking on YouTube to see if there was any channels with Mr. Cast Iron, and there wasn't. So we picked it up, changed our channel name, and that's how that started.
Yeah. Interesting.
And so here we are now.
My channel was originally going to be Fruitwood Barbecue. And because we have a lot of fruitwood up here. And then, my boss at the time said, I watch so many dadgum YouTube videos. You don't know what they do. What does that even mean? And well, it says barbecue there, Mr. Wizard. And he said, he said, anyway, so I kind of took his advice and went with GT's barbecue, and it's still barbecue. But I wanted to do, my original idea was voodoo barbecue. Yeah. It's spooky good.
Yeah.
And I still like that, but that'll be for another lifetime.
Yeah, I hear you. Hey, let's talk about some personal things, some little trivia issues here, if you don't mind. Hey, we're an hour and 15 minutes in this. I didn't even ask you. Can you stay with us a little bit longer? You need to run?
No, I'm good. I may have to, so I think this is the fourth show I've been on, and the code on every one of them has been to say somebody's at the door if you got to pee.
Yeah.
Oh.
So that may come up.
At the door? Yeah.
That may
banging on the door.
Oh wait, there's somebody at the door. I'll be right back. That's always been the secret code.
Usually.
Yeah. No problem. Just let me know.
I'm good. I'm just. It's a school night for me, so I got to be careful. But it worked out good because it started at 4:00. So no, I'm good as long as y'all want to.
We're just having a good time. I appreciate your grace and mercy with me because I've been struggling, I'll tell you. But we love it. So, hey, what'd you want to be when you were a child?
Older.
And quickly, right?
Right.
Yeah, that was me.
That's all I everybody, when you're a kid, all you want to do is get older, but you never want to be old.
Yeah. When you get old, you want to be younger, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't know about that. I thought long and hard about that going through again. And, I've lost so many people. I think it's just been plenty. You just gotta soak it in and enjoy every day. And, don't, yesterday is history and tomorrow's a mystery. So just enjoy what you got. And I don't know. But I wanted to be older.
That's kind of like our little community here. We live in a 3,700 population town, and we lost 4 people this weekend, and two of them was COVID related. And so I understand what you mean. Life's a mystery, and you got to enjoy every minute of it because you just don't know. But anyway,
that's why they call today the present, because it's a gift.
Yeah, it's absolutely right. That's very good. What's your favorite childhood memory?
Being with my grandpa when he was pretending to be Santa Claus, and it was clear to me he was not Santa Claus. But we had 180 acres, and Christmas time. We had a tree farm. So my dad, as a hobby, he had an insurance agency in our little town, not much bigger than yours, but we did Christmas trees. So we grew them, in the springtime we planted them, and then in the summer we'd trim them up to make them a nice shape. And then we'd go out with our tractor and trailer and haul them to our yard. And we had all the people in town came and bought Christmas trees. And I remember my grandpa had this, goodness, he was near 80 when I was probably 7 or 8 years old. So it was just a horrid old, probably 60 years old at that time beard. It was the worst thing in the world, but I don't know, just something about that old man. He had some sleigh bells that literally came from his workhorses. And he'd jingle them as he came up the steps, and I'd sit on his lap, and he smelled like cigars and whiskey. But I'd never forget that, spending time with my grandpa.
Yeah, that's funny right there. If you was to ever have a superpower, what would it be?
That's a good one.
Invisibility.
Really?
Oh.
Like to hide from everybody, huh?
Well, I don't know. It just pops into my head. You kind of, I don't know. I suppose that's a good one. I could.
It is good.
I don't know. I don't know what the list of superpowers is. That should be a multiple choice.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's true. Might have to do that. I may have to do that.
Right.
Well, man, I've just gotten to know you a little bit, and you're such a likable guy. But
well, you are too.
Well, how would you say your friends would describe you? I know you got a multitude of friends, obviously.
Loyal.
Yeah.
Yep.
To the teeth. To the T.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's what I expect, and I don't really have a lot of what I'd call really close friends, but the ones I got, I think that's the most important thing is loyalty in not only friends, but family and everything,
Absolutely. Yeah.
So
you got any pet peeves in life in general?
people that walk slow in crosswalks piss me off. They even sometimes will glare at you. Like
that's a new one there. I like that.
Man, that's one of mine. I don't have a lot of pet peeves. No, I'm pretty easygoing, and I was down there at the 7-Eleven here getting some I don't know what it was, mayonnaise or something the other day, and there was 2 peanuts in there, and one was assaulted.
Oh really?
So I didn't care for that.
Yeah,
I didn't care for bullies. Yeah, I don't like bullying, and I don't like mean people. And one of these days, somebody's going to piss me off, and I'm going to run them down. They glare at you. They just turn and they look right at you like, oh man.
What's your hurry, big boy?
Yeah.
Can't do anything about it anyway.
No.
Well, I'm almost reluctant to even ask this question, but I'm going to have to. What's the craziest thing you've ever done?
I went streaking in a bar when I was in college.
Really?
Oh.
Yep. Enough said. It was a real short trip.
I was going to say, how did that turn out?
I don't know what I was thinking. I just one of them things that happened, and too much booze and bunch of friends, and everybody thought it was a good idea. And I'll tell you the funniest part about it though was so I said, you make sure the car's right outside the front door. So I ran through the place. I go out and I get in the back seat. No one's driving. They thought I was going to drive. So then there was this whole other cluster. There was this whole other, shit. I don't remember who ended up driving, but yeah, that was probably that. There was no question. That was the craziest thing I ever did.
Wow.
My ex will have to get over my shortcomings.
Yeah, I hear you. I understand. Well, you mentioned YouTube earlier about being so time consuming, and yet it's it's so rewarding. But do you have any other hobbies other than YouTube?
Well, yeah, barbecue. I mean, I don't think of you two. I think of you two as a necessity to I guess.
He's busting my chops, Sadie. I mean, really.
Yeah, I don't play golf. My hobby is just kind of getting in my head, and I like to be challenged with things. And I look at recipes, and I think, well, I could do that. And some of them sauces that Craig makes, and some of the different people. And no, I don't really have too many hobbies to speak of other than barbecue at my age. Now, in the past, I used to be a freelance gynecologist on the side.
Yeah.
And that was a field with a lot of openings, something I'd get my head into, but I kind of gave that up when I got married. So
yeah, that's probably a good thing.
Yeah.
Did you tell them to suck?
Are you a sports fan? Yeah, next question. Tracy says next question. Are you a sports fan?
Not really. I mean, I like the Seahawks because we live near there. But I don't watch all the other games. I just watch it when the Seahawks are playing. In fact, we record the game and then we sit and jerk through the commercials. So it's quicker. No, not really. I always played sports and I never cared to watch sports. I much prefer to do it. And as I've gotten older, so I would tend to say not. I'm kind of an old goat and set in my ways, and I just soon chill on my back porch with a cold adult beverage and watch my smoke roll and enjoy my family and friends. And, so.
Papa Texas is late for the show. He's finally popped in here.
Hey,
Give
Papa.
him a hard time.
Wow, that's a big deal.
I was going to try to have breakfast with him this weekend, and I never could get in touch with him. So maybe we can do that some other time. Looking forward to it. But I know I wanted him to cook for me actually, but anyway,
he needs to get his granddaughter out there. What's that big?
I know.
That big round. What is that called? That big
disc plate. That's what we call it. Yeah, it's a disc. I mean,
I'll never forget. I don't know how many times he says, well, this has been years ago that I seen her out there. She was cooking something for him, and she was scared the hell out of it. She didn't care for it much, but I love to see kids cooking with their family. I really that means a lot.
And you were talking about Lee earlier with Smoking Bears, talking about having fun. That's one thing Teresa and I both, we just love to watch him. I didn't get to watch his live show this morning. Like I said, I've been kind of under weather, as you can tell, struggling to make it through this show, but I just didn't get to watch his show this morning. But him cooking with his girls like that is just, that is where it's all is at, Papa cooking with his granddaughter. And
I've been following him for years, and that's what got me interested in it was, you get Peyton on there and some of the, I can't remember all of them, but, it seems like Peyton's the most interested most of the time. And
yeah, no doubt about it. Are you into music?
Yeah. I like music. Again, it depends on my mood. If I'm in the kitchen prepping, honestly, there's a Daryl Hall has a YouTube channel that's where they just jam with a bunch of other bands and stuff.
Or other musicians come in. I've watched that a bunch myself.
Yeah, so I like to have that on in the background just for general listening purposes. But I'm not I Led Zeppelin, Mega Fred, of course, is from my day. But I'm not. I don't. Who was it in town? Somebody, Styx was in town here just a couple of weeks ago, and I just didn't care to go. I don't have that in me anymore. That standing there and head bobbing and it's loud. I want to wear earplugs and buddy, I would have been, but I like music. I like all kinds of art. I think barbecue is art. I think it's a I guess that's kind of a way to look at it. But no, I don't. I don't just sit and listen to music in a room by itself.
Yeah.
Unless I'm stoned and drunk.
I hear you. Well, you're talking about busy all the time and looking forward to retirement. What's your favorite way to spend a day off now?
Fly fishing, If there is one, we talked hobbies earlier. I do like to fly fish. I really like solitude. I come from a small town. I've never liked crowds or big cities. And for the most part, people are assholes. I really, when you consider how mean the average person is and you realize half the people are meaner than that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like people much anymore. I like to just get out in nature and maybe take a hike or fish or go out on my porch. And, I'm just going to kind of point.
Yeah. Yeah. I know what you mean. I do know what you mean on that. Are you there? Yeah, there he is. I thought you froze up on me for a minute.
Yeah, me too.
How about vacations? What's the best place you ever went to, or what is the best vacation you ever had?
Best vacation I ever had was the Galapagos Islands.
Really?
It was like a 15-day deal that I had won it, and it was nice because it wasn't like a beach vacation. It was educational for me, but I got to see things no human being ever gets to see. Yeah. And then, the history of the whole thing. And I like history. I'm a big reader. It was kind of a once in a lifetime thing that you wouldn't, it's kind of boring, kind of bookish, kind of nerdy maybe, but I'll tell you what, it's pretty interesting.
Yeah. What's the best thing you've read recently in the recent past?
Well, I'd have to say there's a book called Fall of Giants. That's not a new book, but it's probably one of the 3 best books I've ever read.
Really? Wow.
That dealt kind of with the whole World War I and how it all got started. Yeah. And it's part of a trilogy. It's called a Century Trilogy. So there's one about World War I, and then the same family moves through all the way to present day.
Wow.
So if you're into that kind of thing and that's the one that really springs to my head. That's some serious. It's a big book. It's like 1,000 pages, but I think the person that wrote it was very, very, very young when he wrote it.
Yeah. And
he's kind of a prodigy. So good stuff. Yeah. Fall of Giants.
Pickles says, what's your favorite author, and do you know John Meacham?
I do know John Meacham. Him and me had beers yesterday. No. I don't remember what John Meacham's titles are, but I've heard that name. And my favorite author is the author of Fall of Giants, and I can't frickin' remember what it is right now, God damn it. Camera girl, who's the author of Fall of Giants? Oh, she can't hear me. Charlie, whoever that is, look it up. I'm telling you, you will not be disappointed.
You talked about doing a collab on Halloween.
Halloween.
What's your favorite holiday and why?
Wow. Halloween is my favorite holiday, and no disrespect to any other holiday, but it just brings back all the memories of fall and the harvest and the reaping of all the hard work that everybody did. And you're getting ready to me, Halloween is like the Friday night of the weekend of the holidays. And it's kind of the celebration time. And then you move into the more esoteric, serious, intellectual holidays. But I think it's just fun. I think it's just the most fun day of the year. It's a lot of fun. Everybody just lets themselves down. And especially you go to a costume party. And I'm going with Halloween.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, we're an hour and a half into this. I'm just going to ask you a couple more questions. We'll quickly wind this down. But
if they're seedless grapes, how can you grow more?
Right there.
Ken Follett. Tom's asking, do you know Ken?
No, that's the author who's trying.
Ken Follett. Follett.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. That's it.
Okay. Yeah. So if you were to win the lottery, Gary, what would you do with some of the earnings?
I'd give a lot of it away. I would I don't need much more. I'm pretty satisfied. I've got the best wife in the world.
Yeah.
Good family. I live where I want to live. I might get away from this one neighbor over here, or I could buy their house and kick them out.
Yeah.
But no, I'm kidding. No, I'm good. I'd give a great deal of it away and make sure my family was taken care of.
Yeah.
Especially Charlie.
Yeah. Yeah. If you were to go to a potluck, what would you take?
Is it a full meal or an appetizer?
Just whatever you want to bring.
Wow. For game day food, candied bacon is the biggest hit every time I bring it.
Yeah.
Candied bacon in like a goblet jar. That gets eaten up a lot. So
Yeah.
that's a good one. Smoked cream cheese is good. Shit. I can't. How do you say that? It's like, what's your favorite song?
Yeah, really.
I don't. Depends on my mood and what I'm doing, but
yeah.
how high is up?
Yeah. Chad M says, hello, everyone. This is Barbecue Shack. My name has changed on here for some reason. So anyway, good to have you, Chad. We're about ready to wind down, though, I hate to say, because we've been here an hour and a half. I don't want to keep Gary too long, and I'm struggling through. I've got a head cold. My throat's bothering me and everything, but we're going to try to wrestle our way through here. Our sponsor tonight is Uncle Steve's Shake. We certainly appreciate Uncle Steve. But, Gary, I got a couple more quick questions before we go. On a more serious note, what are you most grateful for in life?
My family.
Yeah. Yeah. Care to elaborate on that any?
Well, I mean, it's all part of the, God, family, country. I'm grateful that I've had the opportunity to be sitting in this home, safe and on a dadgum $1,100 frickin' phone, talking to y'all through space.
Ain't that wild? That just blows my mind too.
I'm having a cold beer, and there's lots of people that are struggling, and would give anything to have what I have, yet I bitch every day about things. So no, I'm just grateful for being, I guess, just being lucky and so dadgum good looking.
Yeah.
I can't wait till tomorrow because I get better looking every day.
Yeah, you do look good. I must admit. Yeah, you're a good looking feller.
I'm a pretty man. It's true.
That's right. Well, I know our moderator, Stephen and Jacqueline down in Trinidad and Tobago, he's always so good about putting all the credentials in the chat room and everything. And folks, like I said, once again, our guest tonight's been Gary Taylor with GT's Barbecue and Cuisine. And if you've not yet been to his channel, be sure and go check him out and check out his videos and everything. But Gary, what's the best way that your suggestion of where we can follow you? What's the best way to do that?
YouTube.
YouTube.
I don't do a lot of the interweb stuff. I got Instagram, Facebook. I honestly, I'm not working at it too hard. I like the community and I want to be part of it, and I got to get caught up on some of my stuff. But YouTube, I will say, so here's something for some of the people that may be thinking about a channel. I've been doing this 3 years. I think I got, 2,800 or so subscribers, and I am monetized, but it's about $120 a month. So you ain't going to get rich doing it. It's a lot of work for that money, but it pays for my food that I cook, and it's a hobby that kind of at least covers itself. But YouTube is the answer to that.
Good deal. 2,910 is what I show your channel is. So you've gained some. Hopefully you'll gain some tonight too.
Some of them must have.
He's gained some since we've been on here. Yeah,
I appreciate that.
Awesome. Well, hey, we're going to wrap this up. The last question here for Gary is, what would you like to say to your subscribers and also to our audience here in the chat room before we go?
Well, I guess I would kind of just reflect on back what I said before. And as far as my subscribers, thank you for, for having the interest to watch my videos and sitting through some of that horrid content. that I've done over the years. And you know, just to the viewers, is just stick with it, and you know, let's all just keep on keeping on, and regardless of what happens in the world, we'll still be here doing what we're doing. And you know, whatever that is, you know, just love each other, and take care of everybody, and stay safe. And you know, we'll look to do this again another time.
Yeah, very good. Well, Gary, you've been a great guest. We certainly appreciate you. We appreciate everyone in the chat room. So from Mr. Cast Iron, Mrs. Cast Iron, Mr. Gary Taylor of GT's Barbecue and Cuisine, we certainly appreciate you guys. Appreciate Uncle Steve sponsoring our channel. Thank you to Grumpy Old Gringo that won our giveaway tonight. So, folks, we look forward to seeing you again next week, Lord willing. So y'all have a good night, and we'll talk to you again later. We'll see you.
Good night, guys. Thank you.